Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to tonight's meeting, Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. Tonight's meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, a copy of which is posted on the back wall. First off, I need to announce Councilman Olson was not able to be here tonight and asked if he could be excused. He talked to me about that actually at the last meeting. He had plans out of town. So I would ask if there is a motion to excuse Councilman Olson.
So moved.
Motion by Sherman, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Radcliffe, roll call.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Motion carries, 4 in favor, 0 against. First item then on the agenda would be approval of the minutes for November 8th, 2022. Is there anything anybody saw as far as additions, corrections, comments? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Radcliffe, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Sherman, roll call.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Motion carries, 4 in favor, 0 against. Item number 3, comments by the public. If there's anybody that wishes to speak to something that is not otherwise on the agenda, may do so at this time. Just understand that according to current policy, City Council can't respond to that in order to give all parties an opportunity to talk about an issue. But come on up and state your name and address for us. And
My name is Aaron Bennington. My address is 2635 Monterey Drive here in Sidney, Nebraska. I was just wanting to come before this body, not take too much of your time, but kind of get the ball rolling on maybe allowing some agricultural activities to go on within city limits that currently aren't allowed. Chickens are one, rabbits, just small little items like that that could really help you people out and, ease some of the burden that's going on with supply chain issues and inflation and things like that that are really just kind of hurting the lower class people. I'd look forward to meeting with you guys on different occasions or anything, maybe working with you, trying to get something going on that issue if
Okay.
you're available. Not quite sure the process. I could come in tomorrow maybe, or it would have to be a petition thing or whatever. I would just like to take some of you guys' time to kind of talk it out with you. See where
Sure.
you're going.
like I said, obviously this is just public comments, but I think if that's something you want to pursue and have further discussions, I'd encourage you to contact the city office as far as what you can do or needs to be done as far as getting on an agenda item. Because once it's on as an agenda item, then we can freely discuss and debate and hash things out as they are currently under existing city code, and if there's room for changes to city code. But that'd be the best way to move forward, because that's going to give you an opportunity to speak and other people that might be interested in that issue. At least gives them notice to what's going to be talked about, and then they could come forward and express their opinions as well.
Thank you.
Sound good?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Anybody else? Comments for the public? Seeing none, we'll go to item number 4, civil service reappointment of Sue Hyatt as appointed by city manager.
Good evening, I'm Autumn Ramirez. I'm the Civil Service Commission Secretary, and Sue Hyatt, her term limit is up November 18th of 2022, and we followed the guidelines by board and commission vacancies, and we advertised for the position, and the only one that came in was Sue. So gave it to David to take a look at because he gets to appoint, and he has contacted Sue and appointed her to Civil Service Commission for 6 years.
Okay. Any comments or questions for staff? Is this
She's
an
been a
act-
really valuable member of
Yeah,
that,
she's
commission.
been on the
Yeah.
commission. Is this an action item we need to vote on or no? It's just a straight appointment?
Nope.
Okay. All right, if there's no other discussion or questions, thank you.
Just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Okay, thank you. Item number 5, Cheyenne County Chamber Quarterly Report. Tasha, welcome.
Hello. All right, this is my first one, so give me a break. Okay, so in your packets, the first thing you should see are our members. So to me, that's very important. We had 237 when I sent it to you. I have now added 3. I just added another member for each one. So since I've started, pretty much this packet tells you what I've been doing. So I started September 1st. This is kind of just my quarterly report because I don't really know what happened prior to me. So if you have questions prior to that, I can definitely find the answers for you. But since I've started, I've added 13 new members, and then I do have members or people that are interested in membership that's pending. So we've had the discussion. It's just more of just got to get the ball rolling, and with all the events going on, it's just kind of hard to make some time. But these people are definitely interested. So we have about 13 people that are still pending right now, and probably a few more if I was to ask. These are people that have actually just kind of come to me and said they're interested, which I think is awesome. So I'm looking forward to having those discussions. As far as my members go, so my goal is to meet all my members by the end of December. Right now I've reached about 160 members that I've reached out to and had actual sit-down discussions with some. Some of those conversations range from 15 minutes to 2.5 hours was my longest one. So lots of variety in the conversation. Just really trying to get an understanding of what's the chamber done, what can we do to be better, what can we do to improve, and I've got a lot of great feedback, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to really putting some things into place. The highlights, so this kind of tells you, like, this kind of my big events. So we had 2 ribbon cuttings since I've been here. We had an open house. We started leadership Cheyenne County classes, which has a total of 14 students from various businesses. I've attended E3 meetings. I've attended strategic planning. Cheyenne County Chamber had a strategic planning session. Creative District is other things. E3 definitely is a major one. An ambassador's breakfast. That was something else. Our ambassadors have kind of had a low numbers recently, but once again, that's something we're looking to build. I also have a list of other meetings that I've been attending regularly. So it's a long list. I've been to a lot of meetings.
She has.
We have had our board ballots results in, so we're going to have 4 new board members, so I'll have 4 new bosses. A couple are going to be coming off. As of right now, I have 2 volunteers. I'm the lone man in the office right now, so it's just me, but the plan is to just see what we have for volunteers and then continue on with that and see how long we can get going with that as far as volunteers go. We will have an upcoming ribbon cutting in law school, December 10th. As far as like housing information stuff, there has been a number of people that have come in and asked for that housing information. Something else are the newcomer packets that the city gives to newcomers. We're working on updating those contacts and just getting more relevant information. Chamber pins are in if you haven't checked it out. I think I gave some to David to
I have some.
pass around, so appreciate that. Sports calendars have been passed out.
Oh,
That's
think I
something
got
else
one.
that's been exciting. We had the City Boosters Club help out with that, and I really appreciate that. And we have 2 major upcoming events. I'm sorry?
No.
Roger's upset he didn't get a pen.
Oh, I can definitely
We
put
I was like-
have some up front.
I'm just poking fun.
Okay, so yeah, we have 2 major events. So this week's been kind of crazy for me for Stronger Together. That's a Small Business Saturday event. It starts at 9 a.m. at the Fox Theater. We have 300 bags that are going to be stuffed. Right now we have about 40 businesses that have actually participated to put stuffers in the bags, which I think is an awesome number. And this year we're going to do a poker run. So we have 31 chamber businesses that once you make a purchase on that day, they will give you a poker card or playing card. And your best hand you'll turn in at the Fox Theater at 4 o'clock that day. And winners get like chamber bucks. Jude's has provided a basket for us, and Winners has provided a coupon. So that's something a little bit new this year, but I hope to get some good feedback, and hopefully the idea is to get people actually buying things. So something we heard as far as like the stamps, that was a good turnout, but we want to make sure people are actually purchasing, not just running to get a stamp. Holidays in Hickory will be the following week. It's the Friday, December 2nd. Lots of things going on there. So we have chili with pasta. We're going to have Santa Claus. There's going to be a photo booth with Charlotte Anderson. Sydney Regional, they have been the one as far as marketing this event, so I appreciate that. And lots of things, I guess, going on that day and just coming in. So that's what I've been up to. If you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
I certainly appreciate your efforts to go out and contact all the chamber members in person whenever you could and stuff. So I think that speaks well of what the chamber's doing, and certainly appreciate those efforts.
You said you're still, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Any upcoming plans or anything, events or anything plans that we should know about?
So for 23, I'm hoping to have more networking events. So the last Thursday of each month, I want to have a social hour. It's kind of like business after hours, but I want people to realize it's not just business. It's everyone's invited. It's a social hour. This is the time for the community to get together and just. I'm hoping to have kind of little team building or just little fun activities, or maybe have little presentations in the social hour, just to kind of have it a little structured. But yeah, that's something really big that I hope to have every month. We'll see how it goes. It's going to start in January, so Jimmy Ellis has already committed to the first social hour. So we'll have the first social hour Thursday. I don't have a time yet. I believe it's January 26th. And yeah, we'll just get together and have a good time and talk about how we can make Starting County better. I also plan to have businesses of the week, so that'll be kind of just a drawing every week, and it'll be the chamber members. So we'll just kind of showcase them for the week. I plan on having kind of a people's choice as far as an employee of the month. We might have more, maybe 5 employees of the month. But that's my time for the social hours to really, I'm going to invite those new members, I'm going to invite those businesses of the week and the employees of the month, and that's our time to celebrate each month. So looking towards that. Those are my big things, my short-term goals. Long-term, I have accreditation in the back of my mind. So that's pretty much, with the state, you pretty much you turn in everything that has to do with the chamber, and they pretty much give you a grade, and so you get stars with that. So that's my long-term goals. That's what I'm slowly working towards. So it talks about like HR, just government, and different things. Yeah, I said HR. So just I got 6 categories, and you just get graded on each category, and then it determines your grade, and that's whenever you get accreditation. So I'm hoping that's a long-term goal for me. Yeah.
See, I'm glad I asked. That's all good information.
Thank you.
you said you still have a position in the office to fill?
So right now, I'm really just trying to figure out my role before I hire someone and have them just chase me around all day. But I do have a couple volunteers that are helping making calls and stuffing bags for me. So that's kind of my direction right now until I really know what I want that person to do. I do believe there needs to be a presence because I am getting a lot more foot traffic, and I'm in and out of the office at different times. Like I'm at meetings or I'm collecting chamber swag bag stuff. So yeah, there's definitely need to have a presence in the office. I just haven't found the right fix yet. So.
Okay, any other questions for Tasha, anybody? Well, thank you, appreciate it very much.
Tasha?
And see, it wasn't that painful.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. We'll move on then, item number 5, solar project update, action is applicable.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike Palmer, Electric Superintendent. After nearly a year of talking and working on this solar project, I think we have everything in place to execute the contracts for that. Contracts were presented in your packet. There are a few small changes that you should have in front of you regarding insurance. So we've eliminated the pollution, need for pollution coverage. Also, we won't be naming each other's policies because it's kind of counterproductive. And that's really the major changes. There's a couple small changes on the lease agreement and solar PPA, but they were more page numbering and things like that. So outside of that, we should be ready to execute if that's your wishes. There were 2 major changes since the last time we talked in July about this that we were able to negotiate that were both positives, and they include after the 25-year term, there will be no escalator from 25 to 35 years if we so choose to purchase the power in that time frame. So to be at year 26 to 35 will be at the 25-year rate. The other major one is if we choose not to renew for them 2 5-year options, we'll negotiate a land lease agreement, and they'll actually pay us for the property. They still have the right to keep it there for those 10 years, but we would be paid or compensated for basically get an appraiser in and figure it out that way, assuming we wouldn't want to continue to take the output of that solar facility. That's really the major changes. So outside of that, if it's still something, Sandhills is ready to go. This thing has a COD date of September 30th of 23, so they want to break ground this spring, and we'll be receiving power into September. If
Okay.
everything goes well. A lot of work. And it's been December, it was December 14th, I think, last year when we brought this up. So a lot of work's gone into it, and I think it's overall a positive for the community. And just kind of a reminder, this will be 5% of our power is all that we'll purchase from Sandhills rather than Millie.
And we're limited into how much we can purchase.
5% is our cap.
Yeah.
We can't purchase any more outside of that. So the facility, the array is sized appropriately for that 5%. There will be something in the future, and I know we've talked about this briefly in the past. Mean does want to expand that solar facility for their power needs. Obviously, it'll run through our system. So we'll be actually back in front of you again sometime in the probably near future, seeing if that's something you want to do, is allow them to expand the facility it about double the size of the capacity, a little bit over double it.
And if we do that, we would have a clause in there that we would have the first shot at that. If they ever expanded from 5% more, we would get first right.
Well, that's
at that.
that's the only thing I was going to ask is, would we be getting 5% of the expanded, or just the original 5%?
So the original
5% of the total?
Original 5% would be, so
What we're
when
doing now.
we'll write a check physically to them for the output of that facility, Sandhills. The other 2 megawatts of load will go through it'll be part of Mean's portfolio, so it'll be baked into our Mean wholesale rates. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously going to be in the community, and we're going to be using that power. In fact, they've sized it so we only can use it. It's not going to go out on the bulk electric grid, but it'll be baked into the rate, our wholesale power. And then, just for Bert's point, we would negotiate some sort of land lease agreement with them. It's not going to be a huge windfall of money, but they would obviously have to pay us to have that sited there.
Yeah, I was just curious if our 5% then actually gets bigger if they resize the facility. If they increase the size of the facility, is it 5% of the total?
It's 5% of our total power usage. So it
Okay.
doesn't get bigger.
With the size of the facility, okay.
Unless they were to
Gotcha.
increase it more than
Yeah.
5, then
So
The
at some
5% is
point-
tied to our,
To our
Okay.
actual power.
which we
usage.
buy.
Yeah. Yep, not to Means.
Not to the size of the facility.
Yep.
Gotcha.
In the event that, the board would so choose to expand that 5% to 10%, like David said, we would want to negotiate that. We would have
First right of
yeah,
refusal.
First right of refusal for that output.
Yeah.
Or make sure that we would have enough land for them to expand in that event.
Right.
I probably asked this last time, but do these things last 35 years?
So
Is that on the?
that's the expected, so 25 years is that's what they really expect. They do expect output from year 25 to 35. They definitely degrade over time. So in the contract, it actually shows you how much they're degrading over time. So there would also be in the contract also allows for them to repower that, so put new panels up. But yeah, supposedly they say though, they say it could potentially generate electricity for 35 years.
But they own all the equipment. We're not responsible for any of that.
This
We're
is
not
a
responsible
strict-
for any of the
This is a
equipment.
strict purchase power agreement, so
Yeah.
we're just buying the output from, they're responsible for the installation, maintenance, all that goes into it. Basically, the point of interconnection is where we'd be responsible for, the transformer, if you will.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any questions on the updates to the project? Otherwise, I think we're finally at a point where we can take action on approving the contract as negotiated between Sand Hills and the city.
Yes, Sand Hills has basically said we need to, if we want to do it, we need to do it. If not, we need to move on, because they're, with the tax credits and all the things that go into that, it's, they have to have it operational by December 31st for them tax credits. So it's got to be operational by the end of next year. Our contract actually says in the September 30th, but they're to the point where they need a yes or no. And we did approve at the July meeting, we approved the interconnection agreement. We do need to approve all three. So the purchase power agreement, the lease agreement, and since the interconnection agreement changed again, we might as well approve that as well.
Okay. Any other questions for Michael or staff? If not, is there a motion to approve said agreements as have been updated? Motion by Sherman, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Radcliffe, roll call.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the update. Item number 7 was supposed to be consideration of a transportation van. Do we want to move that?
It's getting late.
We could.
I don't know if we're gonna stick around much longer.
I told them 5 minutes, so after 5 minutes, they're giving me the hook and they're gonna play music.
Said that we're going to music him off the stage.
Council members, I am Casey Cantor with the Transportation Department. And right now, I'm asking for consideration to proceed forward with the purchase of a small minivan. If the council gives approval to proceed, I will bring a resolution and formal approval at December 13th meeting. Why this is kind of so big is because we have been doing 12 plus 2 buses for as far back as I can see, and I am trying to get a lowered ramp van to use for transportation. So this is something new that the city I don't think has done yet. I think it's something that would be very beneficial for transportation and for us. Why it'd be good is we have stopped doing the stage line since COVID came around. So we are now a lot of one-on-one rides. So we are doing one bus for a person to go all the way up to Walmart and back. And those things only average probably about 7 to 10 miles a gallon. So these vans, which could fit 4 people, so it still fit the number of riders we can, usually give rides to, it would be able to get them to and from with a lot better gas mileage. Another reason why this would be really good is because we have rolled out a contract with Motive Care. And what that is people who are on Medicaid and Medicare and have United Healthcare tangled up with that, they can get free rides for us, and we get a kickback from United Healthcare. So we give them free rides, we get more money back, and everyone's a lot happier. I know a lot of the people that ride our bus, a lot of them are on, Medicaid, Medicare, and only just Social Security and, disability and stuff like that. So $3 for a ride 3 times a week doesn't seem like much, but $9 a week, every week for a whole month, to get to the hospital and stuff like that really adds up on a lot of our riders. So Motive Care will definitely pay for a lot of the things that I am trying to do. Right now, just to say numbers, we get $19.11 to give someone a ride to the hospital and back. That's what Motive Care is going to give us for a kickback. So instead of $3, we're up in that range right there. So that money will actually go towards our end of the month and cut out the city portion of what the city owes towards my monthly expense. This is what Kimball runs, and then what Kimball does. They go from Denver to Omaha to Rapid City They are a powerhouse, and that's because they run a lot of this motive care and stuff like that. I'm not trying to get as crazy as them. I'm, just want to make my own little piece of the pie. And so, right now, we're averaging about 1,200 riders a month, and I think the van will help because, it is a smaller van, it's easier to get around. Those big buses, when we're in downtown businesses with wheelchairs, is a huge pain. So a small bus, it has a side ramp on it, we can park in a normal parking spot, get our riders off in a quicker time, and, continue to move and get more riders. So that's why I'm looking at a van. And like I said, it's a lot different than we've done before, so.
Yeah, I knew without the stage line, the majority of traffic has been the one-off trips, so that makes a lot of sense on that. How would we be paying for the van?
So the van is actually 80% federal, and then 10% state, and then we pay our 10%, so it'd be $6,500 would be all that we'd have to pay. And in my reserves right now, I believe I have $18,000. So if we move forward with it right now, it's been taking about a year and a half to get these vans. So it wouldn't fall onto probably until next fiscal year. And if it does, I think we have enough money and reserves to cover the $6,500.
But 80% federal and,
Yep, 10%
10% state.
10% us. So,
right,
brand new vehicle for only $6,500.
right.
Since the last couple of years, we've been getting pandemic money to pay for our buses 100%. We've been allowed to build that up to 18,000, so.
Yeah. So we're not looking at any additional fees or new taxes or bonding or,
No.
and it'd all be through our, okay, I just wanted to make sure we're clear on that. Any other questions for Casey?
I didn't see the rates.
Oh, my rates?
Yeah,
We'll discuss that.
I guess we're good.
But I will say this motive care will be very good for the city. I've been on the newspaper, radio and stuff like that. Trying to get the word out. It is going to take a while because some people will have to change a little bit with their Medicaid, Medicare to get to United Healthcare. But I have my first 2 rides tomorrow, so we're excited to kind of get moving slowly with it. There's a couple other avenues we can go with, like MTM and a couple other different transportation places. But everyone's told me start with one. I have to do the billing, I have to do the scheduling, so I need to make sure that I am comfortable before I move forward with more,
Right.
more rides I can give out, so. Other than that,
No, I think it's, it sounds good. It's a lot of good legwork on your end, so I appreciate that. Time frame, how long would it take to acquire a van like that? I know sometimes other vehicle purchases we get pushed out. How long would it take to get something like that?
yeah, they said it's been over a year lately. So that's the expected, that's why I kind of want to get going. And like I said, if we do get it early, we have the reserve money there, but they said it's easily a year until we get one in.
Okay.
And everything is state specs. We have to sign, the state signs a contract with the van makers to follow all of the ADA and stuff like that. So all vans are just.
Federal regs, state regs,
Everything is.
all of it, yeah. Okay. Those are the only questions I have. If there's no other questions, is there a motion to allow Casey to proceed with purchase of the van?
Moved.
Motion by Sherman, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ellwanger. Roll call.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Elwanger,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes. Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. All right. Thank you. Number 8, consideration of changing council meeting dates in December. Action is applicable. Typically, December tends to be kind of a slow month. Traditionally, we haven't always had a second meeting in December, obviously because of the holidays. But I don't know, what are thoughts this year? Anybody, staff, council?
I don't know if there's anything, but we could always, if you want to wait, we have till December 13th to decide on this too, if you want to make sure nothing's going to come up. but
You know, and
pay
actually,
attention. It gives us 3 weeks to.
With new council coming on the next meeting, is that correct?
Yeah.
Might be better to wait till then because it's going to affect a couple different people.
Okay,
Um,
we'll just put it back on the agenda.
So if there's no objections, is everybody okay with making that decision at the next meeting?
We'll just table it until then.
Okay, yep, we'll go ahead and table that till next meeting. We can deal with that after the new council's been seated.
Gives us a little time too.
Okay, item number 9, city manager's report.
And I didn't really have a lot. I guess Tasha kind of stole what I had. I was going to talk about Stronger Together and Holiday and Hickory. There is one thing with the Holiday and Hickory, though. They do need judges for the floating contest, for the float contest. So if anybody on the council wants to do that, that's fine. If not, I've done it in the past. I'll be happy to do it again, but I didn't. If anybody's interested, let me know. And if not, then, I mean, it's fun. I did last year, or 2 years ago I did it. We didn't do it last year, did we? So, but anyway, just want to point that. I didn't really have much else other than that. This meeting, kind of a short,
Okay. Staff, anything else?
least
Chief?
I've ever talked in a meeting.
Nothing. Autumn, anything? Lane? No. Looks like we already let Casey talk too long, so. Burke, anything to add from council?
Do we have any update on the light poles downtown?
I'm glad you asked
That's a
that.
good question. We just talked about that the
Sorry
other
to bring
day.
it up.
So we
Yeah.
actually have the fixtures, they're in our possession. The light poles are still a ways out. Last I knew, there were 5 to 6 months
That's what I said last.
still, that we're still waiting on. I'll reach back out to him tomorrow and see if I can get an updated timeline, but yeah, it's like everything else. The fixtures are here, if we have something to put them on, we would, but the poles, we're waiting on the poles.
We were hopeful that was going to be a different story,
That
but
was my Christmas wish.
Yeah.
yeah, me too. Me
Well, hang
too.
on, Christmas ain't here yet, maybe we'll get lucky.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, I mean, it really is a striking appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, because the block, what is it, 10th Street, where the courtwouse is at?
Yep.
Those are the same lights, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll be identical
Yeah.
to,
Yep.
from Illinois to King Street. them two
Yeah.
blocks.
We do have the banners in. We just don't have the light.
Right.
poles.
But I think once we can kind of move forward on that and start getting more of the downtown uniform with those lights, will be
Yes.
pretty impressive, pretty striking.
It was a
Be
great
a nice,
idea.
nice improvement for the downtown area.
Agree.
Marva?
Lights look good. Noticed that tonight, they looked really nice, looked very festive downtown
Yeah,
with the wreaths up, so good job.
yeah. I thought it looked great with them up. It was nice to see them on.
That's what I was gonna say, don't forget to drive down Illinois a couple of times and check out the lights, the wreaths, the trees up.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I'm sorry. Do you mind if I
No.
come back in? We will probably be turning the Christmas tree on over Thanksgiving weekend for Stronger Together. And then also the weather's supposed to be immaculate this week, and they want to do some flyover filming of it, and we don't know what we're going to have December 2nd. So we'll turn it on for this event, just for this holiday, and then turn them back off, and then still do the lighting of the Christmas tree in December. So just in case anybody asks, why are they on this weekend? That was just kind of our thought, is Friday they want to do some flyovers, and then also it's Stronger Together weekend. Whole point is to get people down there shopping, right? So a little bit more. Just wanted to point that out, so anybody asked about that.
Yep. Yeah, anything that improves the appearance of downtown, I'm all for that, so.
And then lastly, make sure you buy all your Christmas presents here in Sydney, don't order them online.
Yeah, that could affect
Kind
delivery.
of undercutting your company. No, I'm just
We'll
kidding.
be fine.
I think that's what he's trying to salvage his marriage, maybe. Other things. Congratulations to our new council members. We look forward to seeing you guys, and that will take place at the next council meeting. Is that correct? Go ahead.
Yeah, oh yes, next meeting. I'm sorry. Our new librarian was here and wanted to say some things, and I think you didn't see her back there and skipped past her when you were talking, but she had a couple of things to the library she wanted to talk about.
I thought she was,
Do you mind if we go back and let her
I thought
come
she
up
was
and-
Autumn's kid or something.
Just made it under the gun.
She was hiding behind.
I think
Paul
it calls
Hogan.
for a speech, probably stand up. You go ahead and tell us your name, where you're from, and what you've experienced so far. 25 things you like about Sydney.
Let's see, I've only been here 6 weeks or so, so I don't know if I have pretty like it, but I'm working on it. No, we have a couple new programs at the library that have started to take off faster than we expected, and it's been really fun so far. We have started a seed library, so it is free to anyone with a library card. You can come in and you can get 5 packets of seeds for free. And we've gotten donations from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company that they specialize in heirloom and rare varieties. And we're getting a box donated by Bourbon Seeds as well. So there's quite a few to choose from. And it's just kind of a fun program, get people interested in doing something in the community that'll help just get more people in the door at the library as well. And we have an open house on December 15th. And we'll have some snacks and coffee and that kind of thing available. And we will be, from 4 to 6 p.m., there will be live music provided by people in the community. We're trying to confirm a couple of high school students to come in and provide live music for us before the festival. It'd be fun if everybody stopped by.
Okay. Well, welcome. Appreciate that.
Sorry about that, I forgot, she was kind of hiding back behind me.
Yeah.
That wasn't my purpose.
As you were.
And then just other, I mentioned our new council members coming on next meeting because we expect election results certified by then, so we'll seat new council then. Yeah, and I know staff will be in touch with you guys about getting you up to speed on different things. I know we've got a few projects that have been in the works for a while, whether it's the Creative District, what all that entails, what the Safety Committee is doing, trying to get grant money that would, could be used for matching funds on our
Safe Streets for All
existing.
program, yep.
Yeah, would create matching funds for our former Cabela's money, so that way we can hopefully do a little bit more with that. And then Elks Project is the renovation of the former city auditorium. We received a state CDBG grant last year.
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been stretched out. And that's, bless you. But that's been a long road, just difficulties in getting bids and contractors and all of that. So, Dave, I'll have you reach out to the guys about that and kind of bring them up to what's going on with that and where we're at. Should be a great project. They've received final renderings of what it would look like finished, and no doubt there's a tall task in front of them, but it would really be an impressive event center when finished.
Yes, it will.
And certainly would serve as a cornerstone to our downtown improvement plan that we approved last couple of years.
Yep, true.
So it would be a big part of that. So trying to
I'll
get
let them know
everybody.
that I'll reach out to both of them tomorrow and try to schedule it.
Yeah.
Maybe even to take them there and show it to them. Maybe you can join us.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and we'll just try to get up to speed on that. What else? I'm glad you mentioned the light poles. I'd kind of forgotten about that. I'd like to see that one done too.
We just
So.
talked about that the other day.
Maybe not by Friday, maybe next week since this is a holiday.
Can you
But,
do that on Thanksgiving?
Oh, and I was going to ask about Table of Grace,
Oh,
where we're at with them.
I haven't heard anything back from them, and Marshall's not here tonight, or I'd ask him if they'd sent any plans. I know originally they had sent some plans to him, but it's not for the entire facility. So I think they're still in the engineering phase right now,
Okay.
honestly.
This would,
Remind me, they bought the land, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they own it, so they will.
so this is the land that would be basically just to the east of where the solar
It will be
station would be
it would be
going.
a good fit for that area, I think.
Land that they
because-
purchased from the city.
Because there's no way to really get sewer to that land, and having a solar farm there, and the city's recycling facility is there. We'll have a solar farm, and then we'll have a new Table of Grace. It will all tie in very nicely, I think, in that area.
Yeah,
So,
provide some development to an area that really didn't have much prospect.
right, and all these things will fit together nicely.
Okay, well, good, I was just curious about that. And we also have we talked about our economic development director yet much?
No, but we did hire somebody. His name is Jeff Clare. And I think I've sent this to the council, but I haven't mentioned this in a public meeting. Autumn and I interviewed him. We were extremely impressed with his qualifications, and he was here in town last week to do some house hunting. He's found something thanks to Lori's aunt. He'll have a place to stay while he's waiting for Matt to finish working on a house that I think him and his wife are going to purchase. They are very interested in investing in the community. Other than just his job, they want to do more than just that. They want to be involved in the community and invest in it. His qualifications were mostly in philanthropic work. He's done lots of work for veterans and wounded warriors and built gigantic foundations. He received the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Award, among other national awards, and has worked for presidential commissions. So I think we were worried about when we talked to him was, well, will this job be good, be enough for you, But I think he's very committed to Sidney. They're from Georgia. They've been running a chiropractor office, him and his wife, for years. They've sold it. And this is where they want to be. She is originally from North Dakota, in a town about this size. She has family in Colorado. Greeley, that's right. And so this is a great location. It's a town just what she was looking for. It's right in the middle of those two. And so I think they're both very excited to be here. He will be on the ground. December 5th is start date. But he was here last week and met with the mayor and some other city staff while he was here house hunting and doing some other paperwork and getting that all in place. And he did stay around for a couple days and actually had a chance to sit in on a meeting with me and the state DED officer that was coming that next day after he met with us. And so that was perfect for him to get a sit in on that and just really hear us talking about new companies and how we're going to incentivize them and what we're doing and how the state is helping. And it was just a great meeting for him to fortunately be here for. So anyway, we're excited to have him here.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
Yeah, it was a great story. He had reached out to me on social media inquiring about the position, and I said, well, heck yeah, we'd like to talk to you.
Yeah.
So I directed him to the city office, and lo and behold, you go from watching a Nebraska-Georgia Southern football game
Yeah.
to moving to Sydney. So
That's what happened. It was they came to Lincoln for the Georgia. They're from Georgia. They came, and their organization is the team chiropractor for Georgia Southern. And so they were at the game and just happened to see, thank you KSID, see it on the ticker when they were looking around searching stuff, saw our job advertisement.
Yeah.
And
they were very impressed with the Nebraska hospitality and
yeah,
her and her family's connections and desire to get back to the Midwest. So
yeah.
interesting story, and had the opportunity to meet him and with the staff and stuff. So look forward to having Jeff on board.
I do too.
But I definitely thought that was worth mentioning. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we hadn't really mentioned it publicly yet. Yeah, so that's
Well,
good. Thank you.
it's out now.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
And then lastly, you mentioned December 2nd, holidays in Hickory. Certainly hope people come out and support that and all the activities that will be going on down there. We also have the Parade of Lights coming up. That is December
It's December 2nd.
5th?
2nd as well.
2nd, same day. Okay, same day. So if there's always time to still get a float in the Parade of Lights. So.
There is a ton of stuff going on down there too. I'm going to miss something if I say it. There's the CASA is doing the chili and
There's going to be Santa, reindeer.
Santa reindeer.
Santa.
Everybody's going to open up their fire pits and have a
Yep.
roast.
Yep, we're gonna have fire pit.
A couple things, candlelight tours and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tons
a
of
lot
stuff
of
going
lot
on.
of great activities for people to take part in, and I'm always encouraging people to go be a part of that.
Lamplight tour at the Fort Commander's home that night too.
Same night.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Awesome.
a great tour. Yeah. You voted now.
Awesome. All right. Well, we look forward to all of that and encourage everybody to participate. And with that, we will adjourn at 7:44.